Time now for Something You Should Know, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's also something you should know, that you can put your retirement plan on the gold standard. Genesis Gold Group is the only IRA backed by physical gold and silver. Learn more and get a free gold and silver guide right now at GenesisGoldIRA.com. Excited to visit with a rock star right now. We have Ian from Judas Priest. They're going to actually be in Sioux Falls. They've got a tour that's going all over the place, and that tour stops here on September 22nd. Ian, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us. You've got quite the tour going on right now.
That we do, yes. We're on, let me see, 1, 2, 3, I think it's the fourth leg of the tour, I believe we're on now. Yeah, we've done Europe, America, back to Europe, and back to the States. So, we've been keeping busy over the last year.
Now, you've been with Judas Priest since the very beginning. You've been doing this for a long, long time. Does it get easier or does it get harder? How does it affect you when you're performing after all of these years?
It's funny because of the stage part of things. Obviously, you get that rush of adrenaline and you feed off the crowd anyway, you know. So that part is, well, it's not easy, but it's the same as it pretty much always has been, you know. It's the rest of it that can get you down, the travelling, you know, and stuff like that, and having to get up in the morning to catch the only flight to the next show and things like that. That can become a bit boring, but other than that, you know, we're still on top of our game, unfortunately. I don't know how, but we are, and long may it continue.
And again, Judas Priest in Sioux Falls on the 22nd of September at Denny Sanford Premier Center. But something else exciting, you have a remastered version of the band's debut album, Rock-a-Rolla, that's coming out real soon as well, don't you?
Yes, we do, yeah. It's been a long time coming, really. Those first two albums, they were with our first record company called Gold Records. And they were both put together on very low budgets. You know, and recorded overnight because the studio time was cheaper back then, and you know, things were let go really because we had time constrictions as well. I mean, the whole album was done probably 3-4 weeks, maybe not much longer, and we finally got the rights to the songs, or Reach Music has now got the rights to the songs, so we can do something with them. You know, we would have done this a lot earlier, but Gore kept the songs close to the chest. And like I say, now Reach has got it. We can play around with it a little bit.
There's a lot of people involved when making an album. It's not just the voices you hear and the musicians you hear. There's so many other people. So to get everybody on the same page finally makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Well, it does, yeah. It was similar times, obviously, when we did Rock-a-Rolla back in '74. It was more straightforward then, but there's still a lot of people involved. You know, not from the artistic point of view, from the production point of view, and of course the business point of view as well. You know, everyone's got to be on the same page. And like I say, after 50 years, we've finally been able to do it. You know, and it's going to end up with the production it should have had back then. But like I say, Tom Allen's on the case, and he's been recording the band since 1979. So it's in a very, very safe pair of hands with him. I've heard one or two snippets of it.
And you had just mentioned it was 50 years ago. Does it feel like 50 years ago? Do you remember it like it was yesterday?
No. There's been a hell of a lot of water under the bridge since then. You remember some of it, you know. You remember the studios, obviously, and some of it sort of fades into a sort of the fog of time. But so some things stand out vividly, you know. I mean, it's the first time we actually went into a professional recording studio, so we were all sort of wide-eyed, big open mouths, you know, in awe of. I mean, Ireland Studios, some of the most famous acts in the world had recorded there, and of course Trident. We did a part of it there, and Olympic, and the Stones. We actually met Mick Jagger and Keith Richards at the Olympic, which was, you know, for an up-and-coming band. It was an absolute bonus, absolute hoot, you know, to meet them. And things like that stand out, you know.
And you've had a chance to perform so many times. Is there any specific performance that really stands out where you go, man, this was the best when we got to play here?
Yeah, it's difficult, after so many years to pick any one or two out. I mean, there's been landmark shows like the US Festival in '83. You're standing there and there's 300,000 people. You're playing into Live Aid. We did Live Aid in Philly. Things like that stand out. But I'm like a traditionalist, and there's nothing better than standing on a stage just in your street clothes, basically, with a back line, and you're in a small club somewhere, and you've got the crowd right in your face.
Yeah.
They're almost part of the show. That's a tremendous feeling as well.
Well, we're excited to see you in Sioux Falls on the 22nd. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Okay, it's been an absolute pleasure. Anytime.
Again, Judas Priest, Invincible Shield live tour, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Denny Sanford Premier Center. If you'd like tickets, if you'd like information, judaspriest.com.
And something you should know.
Something You Should Know is brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Put your retirement plan on the gold standard. Get a free gold and silver guide now at GenesisGoldIRA.com.